he was still an extremely talented singer. On the football field, Greg Hardy, despite his domestic violence issues, he is a great pass rusher. Ray Rice, despite that incident, he's a good running back. And I think we need to stop, anytime I'll bring up a Greg Hardy or a Ray Rice in a sports conversation or a Bill Cosby, talking about stand-up comedy. I always get but they're horrible people. That doesn't matter. Because I'm talking about on the football field or I'm talking about on stage. I don't need to be corrected every time I say, yeah, Ray Rice is a pretty good running back, or yeah, Greg Hardy's a pretty good pass rusher. It's like I say something about Bill Cosby being a funny comedian, and I'm turned into this oh, you're awful. He's an awful person. That doesn't matter. I've said before when it comes to off-field issues, I don't think players should be suspended. I don't see the point, because it doesn't affect what they do on the field. I think everyone knows that the NFL is about football and it's about making money. I don't know why we've turned sports into this moral, oh, these players are role models. No, they're not. They're overpaid athletes that are fun to watch. Why do we have to, anytime anything happens, we get this, what am I supposed to tell my kid when it's your kid? Parent your kid. You tell your kid what he is not supposed to do. Don't rely on some athlete making millions of dollars to be a good example. Some 20-year-old athlete who just got millions of dollars. And I'm a teenager, and I know a lot of teenagers, and if we had $1 million right now, man, there's no telling what we would do with it. But we're not role models for people. Athletes are not role models. Stop making these teenagers role models. As a parent, you should be your kid's role model. You should be the one setting the example, not some athlete. And I know I said I talked Bill Cosby and then I got off on that tangent. Cosby, I guess there's not really much to talk about, though. It's just more details about him raping women, so. Bill Cosby. I just got a response to the article I wrote. Solid article, except the dramatic Alabama has been exposed part. Better book my tickets to the Music City Bowl. Man. Alabama, I guess, exposed. When you go from winning the championship every year to getting beat in a semifinal game, I guess that's considered exposed. Everything's relative. Well, yeah, coming off a historic run of dominance, we are seeing Alabama lose its grip on the national title picture. As the tide come back to earth, we are seeing what happens when a program as spoiled as Alabama has to return to reality and realize you don't stay on top forever. I don't think that's a false statement. When you go from winning the championship every year to appearing in the championship or not getting to the championship game, in relation, yeah, you've come down to earth a little bit. You don't win it every year. I'm not saying that Alabama is going to be in the Music City Bowl, but I'm saying that just the excuses after you've won all these championships, and now you know what, you're in the semifinal. So, or last year it was the Sugar Bowl. You don't have to. It's not. I'm not calling them this 24th, 25th ranked team. It's just they're not winning the championship every year anymore. I don't think that's a ludicrous statement. All right, so there was UFC action this week. A lot of it. Saturday, Conor McGregor defeated Chad Mendes. Sunday night was the Ultimate Fighter finale. Black Zillions won. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson beat Jake Ellenberger. Wednesday, Frank Mir, decimated Todd Duffy with a hook. And then Saturday, Michael Bisping defeated Thales Leites by decision. You know, everyone's talking about McGregor, everyone's talking about the Ultimate Fighter finale. I want to talk about the Frank Mir fight. Because Mir, I've always liked Mir. Got to meet him came to visit the Air Force Base in Las Vegas when I was 8 maybe? No. Yeah, I guess 8, something around there. So yeah, I've always really liked Frank Mir, but he's getting older, and we kind of thought we were starting to see him age until he came back against Bigfoot and knocked him out in the first round. And my first thought when I saw that fight was, oh well, Bigfoot's he's aging a little bit too. It's this could have been a fluke. But then this fight against Todd Duffy, who has extremely heavy hands, Mir comes in and trades with him for a little bit. Takes a few solid punches. Duffy, who had a reputation for a bit of a weak chin, took a few shots from Mir. I mean, the fight wasn't that long, so it was literally a few flurries, and then Mir lands one shot, which would have knocked out anyone. It's not like Duffy's weak chin was exposed again. He just got caught by a strong Frank Mir punch. But for Mir, I think this sets up a possible go at the heavyweight championship. Maybe one last run. Unless he continues to, defy his age. But there's also Duffy, who is 29, and I think it kind of this loss I think it's extremely damaging to his career, because this is a guy who's already had he's had health issues, he's had a weak chin, got a few losses. And I think another loss like this just sets him back that much further. And I think that is for Todd Duffy to get back into the heavyweight division, that is an extremely steep mountain to climb. But for Mir, that was a huge win because it, he's back, and I think that possibly sets up a good run for him to chase the belt again. Some of the other fights that took place of note were Holly Holm won a unanimous decision. That is the person that I think is going to rise up the division and eventually challenge Ronda Rousey. And physically, I think Holm has the tools to where she can really challenge Rousey. Now, I don't know if she'll beat her. I mean, Ronda Rousey is the best female fighter that we've seen, but I still think that Holly Holm has a really good future in this division ahead of her. If you want to check out any of my reviews, I do the Fight Night previews and recaps for the AOSN.com. When I can get some internet back, some good internet back, my Fight Night 72, which was Saturday, that recap is going to drop. And then I've also, for the AOSN, I'm a college football and MMA writer. And then for ssports.co, Simply Sports and Entertainment, I'm a NFL, college football, MMA, boxing, pretty much everything I write there. And you can follow me on Twitter at TheJakeMitchell. If you ever want to email the show, it's thejakemitchell@yahoo.com. And let's see, is there anything else I need to plug? I don't think so. So, thank you guys for listening. Be sure and follow me on Twitter, email the show. This is Jake Mitchell for The Jake Mitchell Show on One Take Podcast Nation. Thank you guys for listening. See you next week.